Hi everyone, welcome to Mompreneur Space Live Show where I interview mompreneurs from all around the world. And today I have a very special guest. She's an amazing mompreneur who I've known for the past 12 years because we were colleagues back then during my banking days. And ever since I left banking, we have not met each other since then. It has been really very long. And that was when last year in October, she and her other colleagues has organized this event that was invited and managed to catch up with her last year. And that's when I got to know that she got married and she had became a mom recently. So Claudia Zhu is a wealth and investment strategist who has been committed to provide trusted and professional financial advice for the past 14 years. She strongly believes that responsible financial planning is the key to avoid hardship and grief. In this episode, we will be talking about how to make the best out of my 40s. And Claudia will also be sharing on how she overcame her challenges and struggles as a mompreneur. So without further ado, let me welcome Claudia.
Hello.
Hi, Claudia.
Hi, Kenneth. 哇，我等你等到花儿也谢了。
Yeah,
I've been
it
praying
has
to
been so
invite.
long, right?
It's been so long. Yes. How are
Yeah, but
you?
I'm good. I'm good. You still look the same. Even when we met in person last year during the event, you still
Oh,
look
yes, we
fantastic.
went. Yes.
Yeah.
You look the same too. How do you
Um.
keep?
No, I not the same. Not the same. Maybe a bit more flashier. You can
Even
put it.
better, right?
Maybe looking younger lah. Looking younger,
Mm,
I think, because of the stress
yes, for
and
sure.
not being and the reason why I invited you because
Mm,
like just now I say, right, got I because we haven't kept in contact for so many years. Although we
mm,
are on each other's Facebook,
mm,
Instagram, I see that you do a lot of things, but didn't really have the chance, right, to really catch
yes.
up. And that's where last year we get to catch up, and I was say, hey, you are a mom, and was thinking, having that thought of inviting you onto my show because now
Thank
you
you.
have left employment and now you
Mm,
are also running your own business, at the
mm,
same time also helping people in the wealth and financial sector. So this is where I would like you to share your story because we have not catch up for the past 10 over years, right? I believe a lot of things has changed, and
yes,
and
yes,
now
yes.
and now you became a mom, and that's also the reason
Uh-huh.
why we are having this topic. But before we start the show, right, maybe you can do a short introduction of yourself to share with everyone where are you from? Because our audience will be listening from all around the world. And at the same time, let them know what are you currently doing, and then we can officially kickstart with the show. Over to you, Claudia.
All right. Thank you, Kenneth. Kenneth has been amazing because he have been doing these shows for so long. Anything that can persist more than 5 shows, I think is incredible, let alone for so many episodes. So, Gundu to you. So, for myself, right, we know each other since many years ago. Okay, we know each other like 10 years old. So now we're only in our 20s. Yeah.
I
So
think it's quite hard to pull through that, right?
make the best out of 40. What do you think? So the thing is that when back then we met each other in the bank, right? So we have been in a bank for almost 10 years before I actually graduated from the bank. And then I proceed on to continue my finance advisory role outside in the IFA and then FA and then uh, Thai agency, so to speak. We are in a agency, yeah. Then continue this journey. At the same time, I think it's good that nowadays also can have pocket of time that can diversify out to be the different business. So besides the mother space, which is pretty good, we also diversify out. I mean, I'm talking about me and my business partners. We also diversify out to F&B business. So recently, I've been handling a seafood soup business together with my husband too. Yeah. So these are the small things that actually, wow, making me very busy at this moment.
That is good to know that you have been busy because that's why it's also hard to grasp like what are you currently doing or what have you been doing in the past 10 over years that we have not catch up. So maybe you can share with us, right, in the past 10 over years, or even before, how did you get yourself into the financial services space?
Yeah, short little bit intro is that right before that, right, I was in the sales space doing outward bound calls, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so
Yep.
those are the courses that whereby you it's inbound sales whereby people having corporate team bondings. So I'm there to actually craft out the program, and then I'm doing events. Then I also being there to actually oversee the whole entire event flow. So that itself is quite a bit of job, which also means that I got to take care of the logistics, I could take care of the sales part. So then one fine day, one of my girlfriend actually asked me, "Hey, actually, what are you looking for? Are you inspired to do so much at one shot? This is like bao ka liao, everything do at one shot kind of role." So then she says that why don't you just try out something that is, your front day, which is a little bit on the service related on the front line. At the same time, you can, 扮美美, everything is 扮美美. And then you can, doors up, and then you can work in the bank. I was like, oh, okay, what is that all about? So that is when the starting point actually get into a financial industry.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
how
So
I actually get into finance.
imagine I know you for 10 over years. Now that I know that you were from
Mm,
this sector before, the sales sector.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. I was
I
doing
think
that.
something that never changed is you are still working with people, still communicating. I believe that you like to social with people, helping people, and that's why you still continue this journey of I would say sales or even um, in servicing, right? Servicing customer.
I think there's a passion there to say that about frontline, about being in the front line and then servicing. A lot of people don't understand that it takes a lot to actually to be with people, giving the extra personal touch and making sure that people are happy in whatever, be it nowadays in the F&B line or finance line. So that is what actually I draw satisfaction from. So
Mm.
being the front line, you got that personal touch, that engagement is very important. And I really being happy by doing so. And
So
then
you're
next thing,
enjoying it.
yeah, yeah, I do. And then next thing kind of I also enjoy building merit. When you are able to help financially, yeah, be it for single mom, be it for mother, be it for family, newborn, or even mother of two or three, the more that they need financials
Yeah. So,
services or this
mm.
is merit buildings. So I think being in this financial industry is very meaningful itself.
And I know because it's only when we start to when I start to invite you for the show, right? That's why you shared a bit about your story, because your story has to have to understand where you're coming from and why you are so passionate about getting into financial, even helping people financially. It's a bit of your background, right? Do you mind sharing with the audience here?
You're talking about the story about my family, is it?
Yeah, you can, if you are comfortable to share.
Okay, okay. That bit of the story is actually about my dad passed away. My dad passed away quite some times ago. But the main point is my dad is not an insurance believer. So
Mm,
he actually bought nothing. Okay, not even there's this DPS scheme which is
yeah.
stick to your HDB. I don't know. Is it
Dependent protection scheme.
correct? So that one, right? Actually, you can get 50%, 100%, right? My father actually asked the person, if you got 0%, can I buy that? That means don't buy anything. So obviously cannot. So he get a 50% one. When something happened to him, he actually diagnosed of liver cancers, and it's an acute situations. He actually
Mm,
onset offset altogether only 3 months. So it passed on
wow.
pretty fast. So all in all, right, it left with a lot of financial debts because
Mm,
the business partner in China actually suddenly just MIA on him.
mm,
So second thing is, of course, uh, is in China. So the business also wind up, and then all the capital, all his money, all gone overnight. I will live with a lot of private hospital bills.
mm.
So that is when I realized that a lot of things when you don't know of, nobody is immortal.
Yeah.
So very important that you actually get insured and then
Mm,
prepare for the rainy days. So these are the things that actually left me with very deep impression and making sure that people know how to take care of their
mm.
assets. That's very
Yeah.
important.
Because for me, I don't think you know about my story, and that was also the reason why it got me
Lie.
into, and it's also the reason why it got me into financial services, because I want to learn investment. I want to learn more about insurance. I would put it in that way. It's because my younger sister, she was diagnosed 18 years ago, with leukemia.
I
Yeah,
think I remember.
yeah.
Okay, but you goes on, sorry.
Yeah. So long story short, in within 2 years, she even did the radiotherapy, chemotherapy, even did the bone marrow transplant. But there was some complications. So in the end, she still didn't manage to make it after 2 years. So at that point of time, like you mentioned, right, for your dad didn't buy anything. My dad did bought insurance, but it only covered death. So during that period of time, there's no money, there's no payout for insurance at all for my sister. And furthermore, at that point of time, my dad has a property with his brother, so he cannot get the grant from the insurance charity organization. So like money wasn't there. So in the end, he has to surrender all the policy that he bought. And back then, he's the only sole breadwinner, and all his saving has been put into all the insurance, which has no critical illness added inside. So he was devastated. He only kept one, and the rest is just surrender. As you know, as most of us know, right, when you surrender, you don't get back the much money that you put in. So that became a learning lesson for me. And then it was when for me personally, I work on my insurance, I understand about insurance, and I saw that there's an opportunity for me to go into financial services. So that was also the reason why I got into banking, although I started as an advertising sales. And because I saw that, hey, maybe I can help out with people, educate people, have that passion to help them with it. So even now, although I'm not in financial services, I always advocate financial literacy, manage your finances, understand the insurance that you're buying, or understand the investment you're buying. The knowledge is very important. So that's why when you share about that, now I understand why you're so passionate and you can be in the industry for so long. And the next question is, because knowing you, right, I thought that financial services is going to be like the lifetime your retirement job, right? But it happens that you left employment, that means working for other people, right, in 2015, and you started to do a lot of things, because I saw you were doing live stream, live selling, doing a lot of things, even selling clothing, selling stuff like that. So maybe you can share with us, right, more about why did you leave this financial services where you are already doing really pretty well, and why do you left and started venturing into other things? Maybe you can share and maybe let the audience know why. Because like you've been in the industry, in the job for 10 over years, it's not that you're not doing good, you're doing pretty well, but why do you choose to leave?
Yeah, kind of. So that point of time, right, I actually live at somewhat my peak. It's true. So people think that oh, living is because there is downturn or this. It's not true. I always believe that when you live on a good note. So this is very
Yeah.
important. Then the next thing that come into my mind, it happened in 2015. That one fine day I was on my way to my bank, to my office. Then I start to think, is that the only thing that I'm going to do with my life? Like, I know it's very purposeful, very meaningful, very, very holistic, but that is just part of the whole journey experience. So I start to explore more things. And I think that if I want to do all this thing, I need to have pocket of time. And obviously, these are all the branding that is going to be with me. And I need all this with time, with the kind of focus, I would say. So I actually left my job, which I think that there's a lot to learn, and I already learned quite a fair bit of it. Not say that is enough, but it's never enough precisely. So I left it, and then I continue my journey outside. When I say outside, it's outside world lah. And then I start to meet a lot of people. I start to see a lot of spectrum, all walk of life, all kind of people around me. They talk about all kind of wonderful ideas, which I don't think I will know all this thing and get in touch with it, not unless that I leave the current positions, which is better than the damn positions. So I left, and then I tell myself that I'm going to take another 3 to 5 years just to explore what's going on outside. So
Wow.
then I start to do a networking. I start to then COVID hit. Right before COVID hit, I have been like networking, doing a lot of like an introducer kind of role. So
Mm,
I am the introducer. I actually introduce people into businesses. I actually tell them that to co-broke. I may not be the broker, but I will be the one that who actually
connect
mix
them
and
together.
match and be a
Mm.
connector. To be
Yeah, so
right,
basically
yeah,
you are like a
connector.
business a business matchmaker,
Yeah,
basically
something like that.
connect them together. Yeah, which is also very similar to what I'm currently doing also.
I
And I
see.
and I love doing, and this is also the reason why I started this show Mompreneur Space, because I'm connecting people, right? But so for example, like now I'm connected with you, so that I'm also connecting you online, so that other moms, they will be able to connect to you if they feel that, oh, I'm so inspired by Claudia's story, and maybe I get connected with her, and maybe she can guide me along the way, because I'm maybe in the same situation like you back then, like 5 years ago. No, no, in fact 7 years ago already. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been somewhere already.
Yeah.
So the thing is that I haven't involved. These are the things that I can remember offhand because sometimes suddenly it slipped my mind. I cannot remember, but these are the things I've done. I have done like a desert walk,
Wow.
108 kilometers. It is actually in Gobi Desert. So I organize people to actually go there to do desert hiking. So
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
It's
So
like
things like
adventure
that.
stuff, right?
It's adventure, but actually a lot of spiritual and inter developments when you are
Mm,
a lot of soul searching or reflections when you're walking a desert like that. How do you walk alone, or you're gonna do with people? How do you manage day to day journey? All these things. So it is a very inner development kind of team bonding with yourself or with people
mm.
around kind of activities. So I did that in China. So I
Wow.
did have some, yeah,
Enlightenment.
some business that is away from finance
Mm,
totally, and then I get to know some of the peoples there in China. Got to some know some Singaporeans, a pool of a community of Singaporean also. So then COVID hit. That point of time, suddenly all this door closed, and then quite abruptly, I have to come back to Singapore and then start building my own book of business over here again.
mm.
So there is some challenges. I'm very sure that actually hit almost all the Singaporeans. Be it that you're working for yourself or you're working for people.
Yep.
So and then I was like thinking, how do I actually build my brand? And then I was starting to explore different platform. And then nowadays got TikTok,
Yeah.
pretty amazing. We were talking about it, and then we start to talk about YouTube, and then of course Facebook Live, and then that is where at that point of time everybody have some ideas. So as I say, I meet different kind of people, so they're like, oh, how about selling Taiwan food? How about selling clothes online, then we can pull some clothes from Korea and China and things like that. Oh, how about we're going to talk about this household items. We I also host some of the cooking show together with,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, really, really a cooking show online platform with somebody who actually have a kitchenware, and we're selling the kitchenware, we're selling the abalone sets, we also selling the whatever that's available that days. So then we actually collaborate with even some of the local brand
Mm.
selling lifestyle items, and we actually help them to sell the top 10 items in one of the shopping mall when during
Yeah.
their open ceremony.
And that was when I was like, hey, suddenly Claudia, like, she's not no longer in financial services or banking, and she's doing this. Like, why is she doing this? That was in my head when I saw that,
Mm,
because we are mutual friends on Facebook, and I was
mm.
like, what's Claudia doing now? But that never struck the part where you wanted something new, you wanted to step out, you want to do something that is out of financial services,
Yeah.
and that is also bringing us to our topic of the day, right?
Mm.
Which is how to make the best out of my 40s. Because when we were discussing, brainstorming, what should be the topic, right? Because
Mm.
initially the idea was about women in financial services, but as we talk, and furthermore we realized that both of us are in our 40s, in fact 42 this year, and I think this topic has was we keep on talking about this topic, and I realized that at your position now, right, is very amazing, because a lot of maybe a lot of my female friends. I in fact I connected with a lot of female friends, a lot of mompreneurs also. This is something that I would want to ask you is that because you mentioned that you left your corporate job, left working for others 7 years ago, in 2015, which is about 35 years old, right?
Yeah, about
Yeah.
that.
So at 35 years old, what makes what because it takes certain courage for you to step out. And furthermore, at that point of time, maybe you have a certain lifestyle that you are keeping. But how did you make that choice to just leave? Because I believe during that searching, that doing a lot of things right, financially you are not being rewarded as much as when you were in banking. So what was the thing that give you that certainty that, hey, I'm going to do this? Was there like what I called, was there an aha moment when you decided to do what you're doing now?
I think there's a epiphany moment that whereby I tell myself that I need to step out. I mean, money is very important. I mean, needless to say, everybody need it to go on with
Pay
life.
bills and yeah.
Definitely. But then the thing is that the next very big question is that whether I'm willing to suffer some pay cut at the very initial stage to actually do something that is more meaningful to myself. That's to my
Mm,
definition. I guess everybody is everybody want different things, and then that's where a lot of people that at that stage at 35, 37 or
mm,
40, they start to realize that whatever that they have been doing, right, it's just not enough. Not say that
mm,
it cannot fulfill certain criteria. You can feed a child, you can feed your parents, you can feed yourself. You can 扮美美, you can do whatever. But the main point is that enough? And that is the moment I think that is the call saying that I need to step out to explore. If not, then I will live with a lot of what if. I think the bigger
mm,
question is that what actually you want going forward. That is a foresight. That is
mm,
about maybe 5 to 10 years time. That is not even like only 2 to 3 years time. But of course, then where you're going to enroll yourself to is very important. I've been in the finance industry. It cannot be suddenly that I detach and then suddenly just go and do TikTok without in the finance background anymore. I'm still existing in the financial industry. I'm still doing whatever that I need to do.
mm,
But at the same time, I start to have the kind of opportunity to explore once I got resources. So these resources beside there's two kind of resources very important. One of them is called 钱财, which is money.
yep.
Okay. The other one is actually human resources, which is 人才.
Mm,
So I think that these two important role you need to explore to get, especially human connection is very amazing. You need to step outside to actually throw yourself outside. Then you get to know more people. It's not like you wait for them. People that come to you and that kind of things. You need to go for events. You got to go to talk to Kenneth. You got to attend his entrepreneur. Then you get to step yourself outside and establish a brand. And then I find that if you're working for somebody, right, the lack of is always that you are relying on that organizations to be the
mm,
backup. You are
yep.
not working for yourself, but you're working for people.
Yep.
So more and large, like what are you looking for in life? That do you want to establish something for yourself? That is very, very relevant. At the
Yeah.
35, that is my thoughts. Yeah.
In fact, when you were talking about it, I was like, for me, it was also quite like I started my business 7 years ago, which is in 2015. When you
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about it,
yeah,
I
yeah.
start to
Yeah.
reflect because I really forgotten like when did I start. So when you were talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it,
yeah.
I was like, okay, both of us are born in the same year. Both of us have that aha moment at 2015 when we were 35. And that was the exact question that I was asking myself, although I got laid off. But I can choose to go, I can choose to go back to find another job, but I didn't. Although accidentally my customer recommend me, suggest to me, why not I start my own marketing agency? And then that's where I started. But without thinking too much, I just go with the flow. And coming back to think about it, I think at that point of time, both of us were very lucky that we have this aha moment to make that switch, that switch, and to really understand what we want in life. I think it came earlier for us, even before the pandemic, that for us to make that choice or for us to reflect, why are we doing this? Should we have a change? If this is working for us, why is it that there's still something missing? Like, because back then I was also at my peak of my career, but the lowest in my life. But that is also the thing I was asking myself. Okay, now I'm 35. Another 5 years, I'm 40. So what am I going to do when I'm 40? Like 40, this word, right? This age, this number, right? It seems to be very far, but now we are in 40s. I totally understand why our friends right around us, when they hit 40s, they will do a lot of transformation. Like for guys, they will start to keep fit, they will start to do cycling, they will start to do a lot of things. Then for women, it start to take care of themselves, skincare, start to do yoga, start to do this and that. I was like, why is it happening? But when I was in 39, I do not know whether you feel it. When you're at 39, it's like, okay, I need to do something. Do you have that, Claudia?
Yes, man, major, major. I tell you, there's so much that I need to catch up on my health. And then back then I was in bank, right? I feel that very fat leh. So yeah, flabby, flabby. It's like everybody
You
is
look
like
good.
thinking,
You look good.
no, 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 it's not. You just feel that it's not enough. Yeah. So then after that, right, I was thinking that okay, you need to catch up. So that is where I actually wow, pump up. I really do a lot of exercise. That is at the end of like 30s. Yeah. So,
Mm.
but a lot of people think that wow, that is the moment that whereby you should be really slowing down. But actually, I think the new, I think 40 is like the new 30s. People are
Mm.
starting to work really hard to maintain yourself before your muscle died on your yeah. So that's when you actually do all the exercises and then you really go and take care of your skin. And this is the moment that whereby I think in the 40s is very wonderful. I think kind of correct me, not this is the moment that whereby financially you're more stable in one sense that you're able to actually um, provide for yourself. For example, you can buy a little bit more vitamins. You can, buy a little bit more. You got more knowledge. You are more mature in the sense that you know how to take care of yourself. You know more about your bodies. That how do your body react, and then what kind of exercise that actually best suit yourself. What kind of diet that you can actually uh, take care of your body on the long run. So these are all the things that I think is wonderful. Like it is so much better than the 20s when you are still figuring out a lot of things.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right on that because I think in the 40s, right, even like for now, in fact, I did my first body checkup, my first ever body checkup when I was 39, right? I was thinking, okay, I need, what do you call it? I need to like have a checkpoint of my body status because I'm feeling that the fatigue and like sometimes I just doze off or knock out for no reason or maybe eat too much rice or too much carbo then I knock out. So I thought
Yeah.
that something is wrong with my body. So but I always have this fear of doing this body checkup. And when I did it right, I was like, okay, thank God now I can audit myself. Now at 40, right, I can audit myself how to live for my next 40. And that's why I'm advising a lot of my friends to do that because they always have this fear of not doing of finding all these things. But I think at least we are in at 40, it's not too late. There's still time, like you mentioned about financial, like
Hello,
career
hello,
wise.
where got late?
No, it's not late. So what am I saying? Oh, so I was saying that at least now you can work on something and financially you are able to afford it, to make that comeback or to have the energy to even work on it. Like you mentioned, now you're working, you're exercising, you're doing all this to work out to make yourself feel better. I think at least at this point the heart is still there. If you drag a bit later, maybe it might be even more challenging. And the other thing that you talk about is also like you are more experienced, you are more matured, and because for you, right, you just became a mom last year, and for you, like a woman, you got married. Like is it three? Is it how many years back you got married?
1 year ago.
Yeah, so you got married,
Mm.
then you have kids. So it's like back to back. You
Yeah.
became a wife, then you became a mom, and now you are juggling your business with your
Mm.
parenting and all that. So for
Mm.
you, like a lot of maybe the listener or the mummies or even women in their 40s, they cannot imagine that okay, I will get married at 40s and get I become a mom at 40s. How is it working for you?
Well, first of all, I want to say to all the ladies out there, if you're still single, don't lose heart. Because
Don't lose
I
hope,
think
right?
things, yeah, don't lose heart, don't lose hope. Yeah, because things are going to happen for you. So at the right place, right person will come into your life, I guess. Second thing is about maturity. I think it's very important that you acknowledge the fact that you have played enough already, you have met enough people, and then you really want to settle down for good. And then I think to settle down is not about hitting that milestones only. It's about, you finally know that that moment is you feel very very correct that you want to settle down and then get tied down and then have a companionship. I think companionship is very important. And then
Mm.
which kind of people that you want to settle down with is also very important. So when at 40, which is at 30, no, yeah, 40, actually 40. So at the 40, right, I start to realize that, oh, okay, I have tried and I have life that I have experienced before, that in the 30s that people don't do it, because some of them get married at 20 ma.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people get married at 20, at the late 20s. So I did whatever that they didn't do
Mm.
in the 30s.
Yeah.
So I go travel, I do whatever that I needed to. So I think enough already. So I advance on. And the other thing is that I feel that my body actually is, the body age is still okay lah. So I
Mm.
actually can take it. And then yeah, so that's the thing. I hit the wedding bell, I get
Mm.
married, and then I didn't make a big announcement. So
Yeah.
obviously nobody know.
Yeah. Even I
And
don't
then
know
not
now
until,
though.
yeah, no, nobody know. Actually, it's not because of the event that we met each other, and then we
Mm.
didn't catch up. We didn't have a chance to. I didn't make any announcement. To
Yeah.
me, is that it's a very private space that I really treasure and cherish, that I think enough already and I want to move on. And I feel
Mm.
very comfortable in that zone right now.
Yeah. And you know what? Because when I met you right after so many years, you still look the same or even better than when I first met you 12 years ago. Although, like, sometimes
Thank
on
you.
Facebook, on social media, right, a lot of
Yeah.
照片, right, we can
Mm,
Photoshop and make our
mm,
everything slimmer. But when I saw you, I was like, "Well, how you're in good shape." And when you told me that you just gave birth last year, I was like, I cannot imagine that you kept so well. And like what you mentioned, I think I want to bring everyone back right to the part where you talk about that certainty. Like when you're in your 40s, when you find the one and you settle down, you are very sure you are going to settle down, right? There's a certainty compared when you're in 20s. Maybe this is the one, maybe this is not the one. It's still in like you still have time, right, to start all over again, which is what most of our friends uh do end up with. And I think this is something amazing that you brought to the to this episode, which is talking about 40s is the new 30s, and you being a mom, getting married, being a mom, and also juggling all this. You felt that you are ready because financially you have enjoyed, you have traveled the world, you have seen the thing, you have done the things that you wanted to. So there's no, I would say there's not much regret of the things that you want to do. You already do it, and now you are at another juncture, another milestone, which you are ready. So when the wedding bells hit, you just go with it, and now I can see that you're enjoying. And furthermore, you are also in very good shape, in very good energy. So what would you say would be the bigger challenge for you at this point of time,
I
especially
think it's
being a mom and also juggling your business?
I think it's not enough sleep. I think it's something that is very simple and basic. So I think when everything is in a melting pot, most important thing is the management of time. So that is something that is very challenging. One day is only 24 hours, but you got so much to do. You want to help this, you want to do this client portfolio, you want to do kind of talk show, and then we have to do it at this point of time. Thanks for accommodating my schedule also,
No
Hannah.
worries.
And then also making sure that the child not missing out their moments. So video down, and then making sure that there's time for parents, there's time for sisters, there's time for friends. There's so much things to do. So I think at this moment the challenge is really how to build our structures when you have a life that suddenly comes so fast. The next thing is that how do you actually transform yourself into um, a scheduler, so you know that at that point of time you know what to do, and you can fulfill the job very nicely, and then the
Hmm.
person know what exactly that you're trying to deliver with clarity. And I would say is that at our age, right, it will be a very sweet spot that we know I guess a lot of people know better that how do they actually handle all this human
Mm.
relationship, how to handle better handle on your time management. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then of course there are things that already have formed a certain basis. At the 30s, you have been wondering how to do this, how to do that. By now, you should know, if I want to look out for this matter, I know
Mm.
who to look out for. I know that who are the people that I can look out for this particular resources and things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And
So allocation of resources is better also.
yeah, and talking about it, that day we were joking about, oh,
Mm.
now you can find friends who already know which childcare to go to, which enrichment class to go to. You have all the resources. You can always ask them, maybe even in Facebook, right? Like rather than when, like for my case, right, when I settled pretty early, married 25, I had my daughter 27. So I'm like the first one among my friends that to start off all this. But lucky because I was in Motherhood magazine, I got contact with all the motherhood stuff, the parenting stuff. I know which milk powder to buy, which diaper to buy, which is the good, because I got all these tips even for my clients, for my mompreneurs that I service. So I think I was very blessed. But a lot of our friends who settle down in the early 20s, right, they have no one to refer or even to ask. Like for your case, like you settle down in 40s, you have so many friends that's out there married with kids. They know you have seen the good, you have seen the bad, you can see how you can manage even the marriage better. I think you have a lot of information that you can gather, experience you can gather, and it became something that is valuable. You are now ready and experienced enough, or you are more resourceful, like you mentioned, resourceful enough to even move to the next 20 years.
Yeah, actually, I'm very blessed because I got a lot of hands me down from a lot of mummies. And then, of course,
Mm.
some of them would say that you're so late. Well, my thing is already like two, three rounds given away already. So I also got this type of things. But the part is that they can actually advise you. All these opinions and advices are very valuable because these are the life experience. You cannot get it on the book and things like that.
Mm.
Or you they can sum it up for you, in an Excel spreadsheet format and then just pass it to you. Things like that. It's so easy. So I would say is that it's a blessing to
Yeah.
be able to still become a mom at a later
Mm-mm.
stage. But don't be afraid because there's once you are ready, this maternal instinct will actually help you along. And then there are
Mm.
so many mothers who are willing to help as time, move by.
Yeah, like you mentioned, because it also brought me to, because my sister recently last year got married and have a kid, and now I have my niece, right? So it's also in she's coming like 30 39 39. So there's still hope, right? Like you mentioned, like she never lose hope, and she managed to settle down, get married, have a beautiful daughter, and I think this is something that maybe the audience can take away, especially for those that are listening. You're still single, or you are a mom in your 40s. Don't give up, right? There's always a better, and what Claudia brought to the table, I believe, is at 40 she still look at the positive side. There's always another side of the coin, right? That there's a lot of goodness, there's a lot of advantage, being a mom in the 40s, having all this experience, a lot of this network of people that can help you, that can assist you in this journey. That will really cut short that learning curve, because motherhood is a very steep learning curve, right? But if let's say you have all these resources, all this network of mothers that can give you all the mama thing, all the parenting tips, I think they will be more than glad to give you, to shower you with all these tips, right, Claudia?
Yeah, for sure. I tell you, it's so helpful, and I'm thankful for all these people that come into my journey. I really know I can name them in my head that their faces pop up. So I would say is that it's a very wonderful thing that at this stage you are able to enjoy all this fruit that you have been building all this in 20s and the 30s. Mm.
Yeah. So for you, right, what would you say? Because our topic today, right, is
Mm.
how to
Make
make
the
the best
best.
out of your 40s. So what will
Mm.
be your maybe three tips that you can share with the audience? Like how can they make the best out of their 40s if they are going to 40s, or they are already in their 40s?
I guess back to just now what I said, like what do you actually want to do for your life? A lot of people thinks that, oh, actually I don't know leh. At this moment I still haven't figured out what I want. So maybe you start to figure out that is yoga or pilates is something that you really want to do, and at your 40 you think that you haven't done it before. It doesn't matter that like how late it is or how early it is. Most importantly is that get your baby step starts. I think that's very important, that fulfilling your own journey is accountability for ourselves lah, I guess. So this is something that I always believe in. Yeah, persist on what you want to do, persist on your dream and goal. A lot of people died halfway at their mom journey at their 40s. It's because they don't know what to do with their life, and then they start realize that there's no dream, no goal, and it's very empty one. So that is something that I would say that figure out slowly but surely that what you want to do every day. You surprise yourself with doing something that you really wanted to do, like set a goal. For example, I wanted to uh I always think that I always related to fitness. I want to have a body that is like only like 15% fat. You can achieve by doing something about it, or 10%. Wow, 10%. So if you want to do something like that, go ahead. Set a baby step, do your exercise slowly but surely it will come. So that is something. And next thing I guess I would say is dare to dream, dare to go. And then the next thing is what else that we talk about? Three things.
Yeah, one
Suddenly,
more. Uh, I think okay. First thing is like what you want. That means
yeah.
anything, because I think sometimes we we human we think too much.
Mm,
Like we like when people ask what you want, like you think okay, what I want money, I want this, I want that, but it's not just that, right? Like
yeah.
you mentioned, it could be just baby step. Like okay, I want to
Mm,
learn yoga, I want to learn pilates, I want to
mm,
learn kung fu, wushu, whatever, right? Or bowling. So it's something that you have to find a goal so that you can make your life more purposeful. Then you talk about dare to dream. I think a
yeah.
lot of times after like 10 over years of corporate, right, a lot of the adults or even our peers, right, they lost
Mm,
that dream that they have. They already
mm,
forgotten about it. They have always
yeah.
been on the rat race until they became zombie. They don't even know what was their dream. And sometimes why would I say that? Because I believe that even for you, right, during the pandemic, a lot of our friends entering to the 40s, just nice, right? The past two over years, they are entering to 40s, and some of them approach me because I started my entrepreneurship journey early. They see that I'm much happier, I look happier and all that. I'm doing the things that I love. And when
Younger.
pandemic, okay, thank you. And pandemic hit, right? They start to reflect and they are lost. They are at a crossroad. Like their children are getting older, and for them they're getting older also. And their job, they are also at a crossroad, whether should I change job or should I stick to the same job. So they are always making decision. But you talk about dare to dream, right? A lot of them forgotten their dream, and that was when I pulled them back. What do you want to do in this lifetime that you have not done? Then they start, oh, okay, they start to recall all these things. It's like letting them to have the courage to dream, because I'm now also living my dream. I'm also working on my dream. So that's why I think we are role models or inspiration role models that we could guide them. So I think these are the two things that we kind of we touch on. But I think the third thing, it could be something like um I think in the 40s, right, is I think we talk about midlife crisis, because the average
Yeah, we are
lifespan is,
talking about that the other time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the midlife crisis really happens at now 40s. A lot of
Mm,
my peers, our friends in 40s or even 39, right? They're already thinking, reviewing, because like what you mentioned, some of them got married in late 20s or even the early 30s, right? Now
yeah.
their kids about maybe primary school, even going to secondary school. So they are now thinking about themselves, that they have time to think about themselves, because their kid will say, Papa, Mommy, don't come and disturb me. Okay, I have my own friends, like stuff like that. So I've already a
Mm,
grown up. So they
mm,
are now focusing back on them. So I think
mm.
for maybe you can have something for those who are focusing back on themselves. What should they look for?
I think the most important thing is that you really have a lot of talk and communicate with yourself. Engagement and communication is very important to other people, to work, buddies or business partner or to yourself. To yourself, I think you have to be very honest to yourself. Actually, at this stage, your child is already very big, and then you have one companionship. I believe that you're with someone that you with your partner. So what are the things that you're looking for, and communicate across. Actually, all I wanted is your times to spend with me to watch a movie, that we can go out for this trip. Nowadays can travel already,
Yeah.
so a lot of people go for tour. Finally not jam in Singapore. So these are the things that I think need to be communicated across very
Mm,
clearly about yourself. Yeah. So a lot of parents, like around my friends, they have 10 over year old. I think for yourself also lah. Kind
mm.
of, you also
Me.
have a child that's like 13,
Yeah,
14 already.
14. Yeah, 14 this year.
Yeah. So maybe if the next question I ask you, how do you actually, how do you actually want to spend your life
Mm,
now going forward? Maybe you want to build something that, about career. You want to do a fish soup. You want to do something. You want
mm,
to do
mm,
something. Start to talk to people. I think
mm.
throw yourself out there, build a brand. I think it's quite good. But of course,
Yeah.
at the right time, at the right space, at the right pace, you can start connecting people. Start talking to Kenneth, you got so many people, so many resources. I think by slowly you can actually get into spaces and then start to connect with the right people. Click
Mm,
that go into, for example, flower arrangement. Something that
mm,
my girlfriend want to do at the 40s. She had been a teacher all along, and then she became a
mm,
lecturer. And all she wanted is actually do chahua, which is flower
yeah.
arrangement.
Mm,
So what she do is that she's a Hong Konger. So she started her flower arrangement at home base, because during
mm,
COVID, and then now she actually have a petite, and then she start arranging classes, and then she do online classes, online teaching also. So she have been doing flower arrangement
yeah.
actually through different platform, even TikTok or this live
Mm,
platform, to actually teach people that who's like across regional,
mm.
Korean or Japanese, to actually how to do flower arrangement.
Yeah,
That's
and when you talk about that, right, that was also something that I share with the moms, if they want to start business, is to talk to go into their passion, to really, like you talk about flower arrangement, like she wanted to do a flower arrangement, but she
yeah,
did not, but she decided to do it.
yeah,
Just at the timing pandemic came, and she started doing that, and she's
mm,
running it as a side hustle. And I think passion is one thing. The other thing is also purpose, like you talk about.
mm,
um, like what you want, what is the purpose, right?
yes,
So I think this is the second P that I talk about, and the last P
mm,
is, if you can do what you love, and do what you love and love what you do, then the monetization or the profit part will come. And this is where I talk about the passion, purpose, and profit, which is a 3P. I think the like just now you were asking me, right, what would I
mm,
want to do? I think this is something that maybe the audience, even for your case, you might have thought of it. For my case, is basically building a legacy that I can be proud of it, that my daughter can also inherit it. This is also the reason why I've into empowering mothers, women as a whole, so that she can also become role models eventually, to take over this legacy that I've built. This is also something I would call the life's work, that I'm passionate about even building it. So I think for the rest who are listening, right, maybe this last piece is, you guys can think about, what do you want to leave behind? What do you want to be known for? I think this is at 40s, right? Uh, to spend the next 20 years to work on something that you can be known for, you can be proud of, you can leave a legacy behind. I think this is something that everybody can just take away from this. Yeah, that's from me. So how about for you? What
nice.
would be your last piece for everyone?
I think what you say is a very good finale, leh. Building a legacy. So building a branding is something that I think is very important. So once you have a branding, that branding can carry throughout. That somebody can talk about it even after you expired, and then
Mm.
leave it to the next generation. So what kind of branding you want to carry through in your life? So that is a wonderful finale.
Thanks a lot.
just
Thanks a
to
lot.
just to carry it through. I think it's very important there, because if once you know who you are and what you are for,
Yeah.
and the life purpose, the goal, and then you still hit it for these 20 years, and to do something meaningful, just after it and keep chasing after it, and don't leave any regret. I think it's a very good thing already. So
Yeah.
that is already a very strong building. If you can do that, right, I tell you, your branding is damn strong. Yeah, you can persist on. That is wonderful because it's not easy by itself.
Of
Day
course.
in, day out doing the same thing. I tell you, even for this program, for it to build on in this manner, I tell you, it's really what I said from the beginning of the show till I'll really salute to you, because it needs a lot of persistency to actually chase after what you want. To leaving a legacy, you're talking about you are going to carry through for the next 10 and 15 years or to 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, it's not easy to sustain this, especially after
So,
5 years, right? And your episode is 102 episode to sustain and continue this passion. Although I would be frank, right? Last year I kind of lost the passion because I only give myself to hit 100, and I never thought that I would continue after 100. But
oh
somehow
my.
or rather, right? Because my previous guest, basically, I met her, I was inspired by her, and that motivated me to start this season 6. And after that, everything just come in. Like, you came in, I knew you, I knew a lot. Now I have guests lined up for the next 8 episode already. And
I think it's
even,
wonderful.
yeah,
I
so
see your people's really spectrums of entrepreneurs, mom entrepreneurs, I
yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you brand it. So I can see that you are even talking about different platform, not to mention the name. I know that you're exploring your business model to different,
Mm,
yeah, maybe different kind of layered
yep.
层次. So I
Mm.
think it's very good. Once you do that, right, maybe you have a new exposure or new, I call it 突破. Yeah.
Definitely. Like I think this year there's a lot of things going on, but thanks for putting it out, and also be like to push for it, and also at the same time to support my vision, and you are also a part of the vision. So maybe you can share with everyone, right, what would be the last advice, right, for mothers who are in their 40s that are thinking about starting their business or step into entrepreneurship. Like for your case, you step into like self-employed or working for yourself, entrepreneurship, doing businesses in 35. But what would you say to those who are in their 40s thinking whether they should start or not start business?
First of all, to be very realistic, right? Do you have that kind of a small budgets to actually to actually make sure that you can go through the years? So to those people that I would say is that the good thing is at the 40s, right? You
Mm,
may just have. So what you can do is that maybe you set aside, list out what kind of expenses that you have at this moment, and then making sure that you can hit those. Yeah, you hang on, huh?
mm,
Sorry.
no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. So maybe you can set aside what kind of schedule or then the expenses that you have, and then slowly, if you want to move on, right, maybe you start with part time first. I mean,
Mm,
there's a lot of things that we can talk offline, like a lot of freelance or things like that. There's a lot of things that are actually available in the market
mm,
if you really want to explore. But of course, I think need to really have a in-depth conversation first. Of course, all the parameters are have to meet. First of all, is the money, the
mm,
financial side. Second thing is that how do you arrange the time? Do you have that kind
mm,
of time for it? How old is your child? Uh, and then the next thing is that, of course, you yourself is are you in a healthy conditions? That's why very very importantly, are you very healthy, very fit? I not say that
mm.
very fit lah. At least that you don't
You
have
don't
to.
fall sick easily.
Yeah,
You
you
still
don't
have the
have a
energy.
yeah, you don't have a lot of medical bill to take care of. Yeah, and
Mm,
it's not easy to actually juggle all this small little parameter. They do affect. They are
of course.
situational factor. They do affect. So to me, is that there's a lot of things to take care of. But if you are willing to step out, right, then the next thing is that you can actually have a checklist of all these things. Slowly move on. Make 2023 the year that you begin to actually slowly divert out things that you want to do. That can be your hobby, but something that you can begin with, and then slowly move off towards that directions. Talk to people that who are relevant. I think
Mm.
very very important also.
Wow, thanks a lot, because for your advice, I think it's very suitable for those who need to have a lot of consideration, need to think a lot. I think you already laid out a lot of pointers for them. You are very, very detailed and very, very practical. I would say,
Mm.
you are someone who already thought about it clearly before you step. So thanks a lot, Claudia, for sharing all that. So
Thank
this is
you.
one. This is one question that I always ask. I think is also quite challenging for a lot of mothers to answer. So if today, what if you are not a mom? What would you be doing now, and what would your life be? So this is a hypothetical question, right? So what if you are not a mom? That means you're still single, and what will you be doing? What would you imagine that you're doing, and what will your life be?
I think it's not very hard for me to imagine cause I didn't end it very, very early. It's not like I ended 10 over years ago, then I don't know, I don't remember. I do remember that all these times I've been having fun traveling around, and moreover now it's post pandemic already. I'm sure
Mm,
that I'm be traveling like hell. And then I will make sure that I will actually talking to different people, be the business connector that who I always been,
mm,
and then
mm,
continue to doing so. I still have the passion of doing stepping out to see the world, even though that I'm a mother, or even
mm,
though that I have something that is domestically tied down here.
mm,
But I would say is that if you're asking me what would my life be, right? I can be very sure that I will be still doing what I'm doing, which is very
mm,
passionate traveling and seeing the world. And then when I say
mm,
traveling, seeing the world, I also include that, of course, enjoyment, leisure, and then meeting enough people. And then from there, I will do whatever the business that I can do in different places with different
mm.
people lah. So
Yeah.
that is like travel and work at the same time kind.
Yeah, I think for me, looking at your current situation, right, that would be also possible even you become a mom, because it's a matter of time that you will go back to that, and who knows that you might be traveling, bringing your kids around, maybe homeschooling, who knows, right? So because you touch a very strong point, because financially at 40, right, you're already sound, you already have built a career or something like that. You would have a very good um golden goose that is there, it would somehow be there, and also being financially independent, I think is very important. So last but not least, right, how can the audience get connected with you?
Actually, I am possible to get in touch in IG. It's public profiles, and yeah, come to me. And then my name is very funny. I'm sure that everybody can remember if I say one time. My IG handler is actually Itchy Bad Site, SITE, not bad
Yeah,
site, but bad sites. So my IG handler is Itchy Bad Site. So you can actually PM me, and then you can add me from there. We can actually connect from there. Not
yeah.
difficult at all, right? Kind of.
Yeah, of course. Because when I first saw your handle, I was like, huh? Like I could never link this to you, but I think it's also something very attractive, very interesting that people will
Mm,
remember.
mm,
But they will remember not the site, but they will remember the other side, right?
yeah.
So I think at least your impression, your brand has really struck people. And thanks a lot for sharing so much about
Thank you so
how
much.
we can make the best out of our 40s. I think whether you are in 40s or not, it's a matter of time you will be. But this is where you will realize that in the 40 you can have so much fun, you can have so much passion, you can still do what you want to do as long as you have planned it in advance, right? You have already made all those arrangements. And like what Claudia mentioned, it's like know what you want and dare to dream, and also start having the clarity through engagement and through communication with people. So thanks a lot, Claudia, for all the
Thank
amazing
you.
sharing, and how you what are the challenges you went, what are your life journey, what is your even motherhood like, right, especially for now, although you're considered a new mom. So all the best to you, and thanks everyone for watching and listening to Mompreneur Space live show, and we will see you in the next episode next week. See you guys. Thanks,
Thank
Claudia.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.